Hi, David. Welcome.
Hey,
Thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
First, let's talk about the current market in up North Shore. So after a fairly strong start in 2023, now we're feeling a little bit change in the last few weeks or a couple of months. So based on the data I'm getting now, for example, in Wahroonga, there was a quite significant change or increase in the stock level back in July. But if we look at the last 30 days in August, the new listings actually dropped by 49%, and the average days on the market has increased by 41% to 47 days. And we also felt the buyers are more hesitant and cautious in buying in the recent weeks or months. What do you think is the reason for this shift?
I think seasonally, July is always a period with a huge amount of stock because it's straight after school holidays. Everyone waits till the school holidays are finished to launch new properties. Yeah. So July is always traditionally a very busy very busy month for listing. August is still a normal flow on, but you don't have as many new listings come into the market. So that's probably why that's a little bit skewed. There's certainly more stock than what we had this time last year. We're up about 35 to 40% on stock levels, and days on market are longer as well because the market a year ago was crazy. Like the market was hot. The market now has just gone back to a more normal period. So days on market are longer. You still have some opportunistic vendors that are sitting on the market wanting to get a big price. But the ones that are realistic, that are listening to what the market feedback is, they're the ones selling. So in the month of August, my business sold 71 properties at $180 million of turnover. So that's a lot of properties sold. So it still shows there's 71 families out there that have bought a new home that were happy to transact in the month of August. People still have the confidence in the market. Yes, it's not as crazy as what it was 12 months in terms of results and prices, but August for us was a record selling month.
That's good here. Now spring peak season is just around the corner. There are still a lot of buyers out there want to purchase in 2023. So what are your advice or what are your tips for the buyers out there I want to buy in the current market?
Yeah, sure. Look, buyers always tend to want to be looking for their 10 out of 10 property. And they think that there's going to be, everyone always says, oh, we'll wait for the new stuff to come on. If you're looking for a really good home, you've got to understand that you're never going to get the perfect property. If you can get a 7.5 out of 10 and a house that you can then make an 8 to a 9 out of 10 just doing your own changes, then you're doing really well. You'll never ever, no matter what the price range, whether you've got a budget of $1 million or 10 million, you're never going to get the perfect property. It's very, very rare, and that's why a lot of people look at the option of even building. But even when you're building, you'll never get exactly what you want. So my advice would be, if there's something out there that you think is pretty good, don't miss out on it, because I've got too many people that I see that miss out on a property in the first few weeks of buying, and that's the one they always wish they had bought. So if you can find something that you like, go hard after it. Obviously you'll have a price that you're prepared to pay for it, but I wouldn't miss out on a property just because it's not perfect. You'll never ever get the perfect property.
And sometimes you just need people like us to secure the deal for them.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about some recent changes in your business. We noticed you've just acquired your 6th office in Pennant Hills. You had 5 offices across the whole up North Shore previously. So can you tell us about your initiative and your drive for this acquisition?
Yeah, sure. Look, we see that market huge upside for our existing 5 businesses. 21% of the buyers coming into the Upper North Shore market are actually from the Northern District, which is where our new office, Pennant Hills, is located. So we've now really got this huge focus from our existing Hornsby business through to the Pennant Hills, Cherrybrook, West Pennant Hills market. That's a huge growth corridor. And a lot of those people are looking to potentially sell there and move towards the Upper North Shore where you've got the private schools. So there's a huge crossover with our database. So now we've got an open, widespread database from Pennant Hills all the way down to Roseville, to Hornsby, St Ives, Turramurra, Wahroonga. It's really working well. So that database now means we can share buyers across the whole market.
Now, using a buyer's agent used to be a very new concept for buyers out there, especially in the Upper North Shore. But these days we're seeing a lot more buyer's agents out there. I remember when I first started a few years ago, there were only a handful of them around. Look, personally, I love to see a healthy competition in the industry, which pushes us forward. And you obviously have dealt with a number of buyer's agents yourself. So based on what you've seen and what you've come across, what are your advice for the buyers out there who are thinking about using a buyer's agent these days?
The good thing about using a buyer's agent, in my opinion, from the agent's point of view, is if you're dealing with a buyer's agent, you know that the buyer's qualified, cashed up, ready to go. But also when it comes down to the transaction, if you've got one or two buyers, you're dealing with a buyer's agent and another buyer, you know that the process with the buyer's agent is going to be far more streamlined and easier because they know that they've got somebody experienced who's helping get the deal together. From our point of view, we're obviously always trying to get the best deal for the owner because that's our job. But we know that working with a buyer's agent where you're not favouring them, but you're actually, you know that they're going to be doing everything to get their client in a position to buy on the contract side, the finance side, the emotional side. That's what a buyer's agent does very well. So we really like working with buyer's agents. And from the point of view of, from the buyer's point of view, working with the buyer's agent means that you're not going to miss out on as many properties because you're working with somebody who's going to put you in the position to buy. So it's a win-win for the seller and the buyer, the agent and the buyer's agent, because it's everyone's working in everyone's best interests. The other thing buyer's agents do get access to is a lot of the off-market stock, because when you're an agent, knowing that you've got a property coming to market that the owner wants potentially to get some buyers through off-market, the buyer's agents are the first people we go to because we know that their buyers are qualified. We don't really like dealing with people who may come through but they're a bit of a sticky beak or somebody who's not in a position to buy. So we go to buyer's agents because we know their clients are ready to transact.
Not just your normal day. I think a lot of buyers are very interested in that.
I don't really have a normal day. Every single day of mine is different. So because I've got to wear a few hats in terms of being a selling agent, being a business owner, being a father, husband. So it's not just one sort of singular, this is what I'm doing today. And when you're running a business, we've got 120 people that work in the business now, there's a lot of stuff that goes on, but also my focus is on getting our properties on the market, getting buyers there, negotiating and doing that. So it's an action-packed day, but the good thing about what I do is I'm just focusing on the stuff that's important. The stuff that's not important, there's other people to do that and the roles to do that.
Like what?
Well, when it comes down to it, people are employing me to speak to buyers, to speak to owners, to do the heavy lifting when it comes to those sorts of things. I'm not out putting pointer boards on or putting letters in people's letter boxes. I'm not doing the stuff that isn't overly important. I'm just doing the stuff that people would expect me to do.
Now, what we're seeing is in that 3 mil or circa 3 mil budget market, the competition is a lot stronger than any other budgets. So what are your advice for buyers with that budget out there trying to get property quick?
I guess it depends on what you're looking at. So if you're in a market, no matter what the price range is, but if you're in a market that you're seeing lots of people looking, you've got to make sure that you are getting things like your contract reviewed quickly, you're getting the building and pest inspection either organised or read, and then not messing around. So a lot of people think that they've got lots of time to wait, maybe come back in a week or two to look. But generally the buyers who are hot to trot, using buyer's agents, they're getting that all done in the first 24 to 48 hours of seeing a property they like. So it's not leaving it till the last minute. If you see a property that you really think is a good property for you, and again, it's never going to be perfect, then you just don't miss out on it. Go hard after it. If you get it up to a price you're happy with, fantastic. If it goes above it, then so be it. Let it go.
Express your interest.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Because we've seen that quite a lot. That buyers actually like the properties, but they're afraid of expressing their interest. So they thought the agents will use their interest to push up other buyers. But sometimes it's the other way. It's opposite. You have to tell the agents or the vendor that you're interested, so they can engage with you to help you buy the property.
Well, sometimes a buyer will come in with a really strong offer that is at a level or above a level the owner's prepared to take. I often get buyers that walk into the office with signed contracts well and truly above what the owner would be happy to, and so the buyers that are other buyers that are interested, at that point in time, the owner wants to move forward with that offer, but the other buyers are sort of wanting to make verbal offers, but the owner wants to go with the hard contract offer because it's there and they don't want to miss out on that offer. So if you're interested, it's worth moving quickly.
Hi, David. You're a very famous agent and well known to a lot of buyers out there. So can you tell us about your story, how you developed yourself?
Look, I've been in real estate now for 20 years. So I'm one of the oldest people in the industry for our area, which is a bit crazy because I'm not yet 40. But got into real estate straight out of school. My first 10 years of my career was just a sales agent, listing and selling real estate. And then it was 9 years ago nearly, so 8.5 years ago, that I decided to become a business owner. We opened our Wahroonga office. It was actually out of a garage to begin with.
Okay.
The garage in Turramurra, and then we opened physically in Wahroonga in April 8.5 years ago. And from there, it was me listing and selling with a team around me, and we built the business from Wahroonga to Turramurra, then Turramurra to St Ives, St Ives to Roseville. Then we bought the existing Ray White Hornsby business, and now Pennant Hill. So it's been a journey. I've been lucky enough to get some amazing, phenomenal people around me, both in the sales department, rental department, but also the back end administration, all of the stuff that you don't get to see when you're a customer, but it's sort of a touch point. So the people around me are phenomenal, and I think a lot of our business success comes down to the people in it, or all of it. Because if you didn't have the right people, then I wouldn't have a business. So it's been 20 years seemed like it's gone in a flash, but be interesting to see what the next 20 bring.